Hi, welcome to the Coaching Game. I'm Laurie Lawson, and tonight my guest is Heather Markel.
Hi.
Hey, Heather. Heather's a return, but she's a return that's totally revamped and refurbished herself, and the journey has been fascinating, so I wanted her to share it with us. And you may remember her from, gosh, I think it was 2 years ago at least.
From 20,000 years ago.
When she was a totally different person, so it doesn't
There weren't even buildings then in New York.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
So if you remember her, it doesn't matter, because she's totally different now.
Totally transplanted personalities.
That's it. So let me tell you that the Coaching Game is based on points of view, the Coaching Game, and what this is one of the best coaching tools I've ever seen. And it's a series of 65 cards with all kinds of other things, each designed to bring right and left brain thinking together. So what we might do later, if we have some time, is just draw a card and see how it relates to things that we've been talking about. But first, catch us up. She was the sales and marketing guru for the Bullbuster Cafe, which was pretty edgy and a little sexy.
Yep.
And now, well, tell us where you started and where we're going and where you are now.
Yeah. So I started out as the Bullbuster Cafe, and the question everybody kept asking was, "Are you a restaurant?" Logical question, but no, I am not a restaurant. I do like eating. I love coffee, but no.
Really?
I actually have an espresso machine too.
Nespresso, right?
Nespresso, yeah.
She was
George
touting.
Clooney has not visited me, but I'm still waiting.
She's been touting that for 2 years now, and cried when her old one broke. But yes,
you remember that?
I do.
So
it was a big scene, really. Yes.
If I don't have my coffee, So. Well, bull busting all started actually, the journey, so to speak, was I was doing expat coaching, and then...
No, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
that is how you started,
right?
Yeah.
And then I was at the time in a relationship that wasn't the right relationship for me, and I was having trouble disengaging. And once I did, I realized that what kept me stuck in that relationship was what I learned was this bull in my head, all these thoughts and behaviors I generated from the thoughts in my head, and those were because I had created judgments about myself to avoid being myself. And that's really powerful because when I extracted myself from it, I thought, wow, this bull really kept me stuck. I know I wanted to be over here, I couldn't get out of here, and I started looking around. I'm like, oh my gosh, business owners do the same thing. They want to grow their business, they want more clients, they want more cash, and yet they've created all these judgments about each sales and marketing strategy and who they are if they use them.
Or judgments have been passed down, because I find there's wisdom about business that, you know what, if you stay in that box, I guess it's true, but yeah.
So the Bullbuster name came from this. I was like, oh my God, I have this bull and I have to bust it, and I did bust it, and that's kind of the evolution of that name. We were talking a little bit about kind of the branding concept. When I was the Bullbuster Cafe, and even initially when I became Bullbuster Business Coaching, which was the logical next step.
Yes.
I had all these bulls. And my God, I went nuts.
They were so cute.
They're adorable. They're so adorable.
And she spent a fortune on having them made.
I did. I still have them. I love them. But as I got more and more clients, I started getting feedback that people actually were not hiring me because of the bulls. They were hiring me.
Which is probably a good thing,
right?
Yeah.
They were hiring me because they believed that I had the expertise to help them get where they wanted to go. And I think the defining moment was when I was hired I was really flattered actually, this very successful woman hired me, and she said to me that, you know what, I almost didn't hire you because I thought you were kind of like a cartoony joke. And I'm like, oh yeah, I get it, right? and I met with a branding expert, and I had the hardest time when we talked about the bull needs to go, right? The name is great, the name is very catchy, but even though that name may also change at some point, but initially the bull design had to go, and it took me months to wrestle with, but they're part of me.
Logo gone wild, but they were very cute, I have to say. They were very cute.
But you know, when I let them go, I realized, oh my God, the bull was actually all about me needing to express me, and my business is about you, not about me.
Aha, interesting. Very interesting concept,
And then as I let go of them, I was able to step into what's becoming the next phase of bull busting, which is the energy work that I'm doing. And it's why I changed my website over to ToBrilliance.com, because what I'm really doing is shifting people out of those thoughts and judgments and behaviors and into their natural brilliance, which is found in their natural energy state, which is what I help read. And then I help them define their sales and marketing strategy based on their energy. So everyone is different, and I'm trying to get to their natural energetic state so that I can then help them flourish in sales and marketing and use the tools that are right for you, rather than you trying to follow. There's so many sales and marketing tools out there. I think one of the first places I see people is overwhelm. What should I use? And they're trying to use everything, and they're just not working.
It's almost like dieting books, or just once you think you might have one mastered, a better one comes along, supposedly a better one. And the same way I find that as soon as I became a coach, and this was way back when, the marketing started toward me, and you've got to do this for sales, and you've got to do that, and some worked, some didn't, and finally you go, this doesn't, authenticity is really important. You've got to be true to yourself, and
really do.
What works for you is not going to work for me,
Well, and the other thing I found is the same thing that happened in my relationship that was happening in my business was I was trying to follow someone else's predefined idea and rules of how my life should be, how my business should be, and I'm following your rules, not mine. And I kind of woke up and I'm like, oh my God, I'm living this life that apparently is great for you, but it isn't for me. And my business also, like, I'm following your rules, and again, my business is not representative of what I want.
Yeah.
So I really learned the lesson too that you got to follow your own rules and create your own path to make your, whatever it is that you want to happen, you have to create it from you, not from someone else.
Yeah, and certainly you can steal. You can certainly steal ideas that you think might work for you, but first you have to, and I think that's what you're saying, define your core, and what is it that's going to resonate with you, and then what will enhance that.
Yeah, because I think that other people do things that of course we want to try, we want to tap into, but ultimately you have to take this, part of this and part, it's like grabbing different elements of different recipes and making your own recipe.
Yeah.
So at the end, it all has to be you, and the way, so we're using, there's a core set of tools and strategies, yes, but the way you're going to use them is very different depending on who you are as a person.
Right.
And selling is a great example because some people are outgoing, gregarious. Laurie, buy from me, I'm awesome, this is good, we're going to have a great time. And other people are really shy.
Laid back,
and like Laurie, it's been really nice to talk to you. They're just not gonna. They're not gonna sell the same way, and they shouldn't sell the same way.
No, and I'm not the aggressive, gregarious. It's like, so if I tried that, people are going, what is wrong with her?
But you should maybe make a comedy show out of that.
Really, things. You're not being yourself and being funny. Yes. Well, let me ask you something. I know because, and I hope I'm not getting this wrong, but you used to, under the Bull Buster Cafe, send out great tips like, this is bull. It's like a bull buster tip for today. Do you still do that?
I don't right now.
Okay.
I'm actually, as I'm getting more and more into the energy, and I told Laurie earlier, I've just started seeing auras, only with my contacts out. But so I'm not seeing yours or yours right now.
Oh, good.
But yeah, so I'm kind of starting to redesign and rethink, what does this mean, and how does this all fit together? So there will be more tips, but they're just a little bit different because, again, as I was moving away from the bull, I just had to kind of think, how do all the pieces fit together in this bull to brilliance journey, so that everything is in flow with what I do.
I love that you didn't totally discard your foundation, and I don't know. Well, your foundation is coaching, and it was expat for a while, and then it was like, okay, suddenly you realized I need to do some bull busting here and get the truth on, and that you've created it, and it's a part of your journey, which is good. A lot of people go, okay, that's it, I'm not gonna be health and wellness anymore. I'm going to do career,
Right.
you know, which it's all intertwined.
Yeah,
if you
it
do
really is. And
Yeah.
I mean, bull busting originally was actually for people stuck in relationship and career, because that's, you know, I was stuck in relationship and this was really relevant. But once I moved past that, I realized that, and this is important too, you realize that the people that you want to work with, often as we evolve, so does our ideal client evolves too. And so I realized that the type of person I work with best is actually not the person that's stuck. It's the person that's been stuck and is done and wants to be unstuck.
Yes.
So
yes.
I'm, you know, they're just looking for like, help me, like I'm done, I've got like,
Yeah,
I'm ready to move out
it's
of here.
over. I need a new thing.
Yeah.
All right. So for old time's sake, give me a bull buster tip that you. Which one are your favorites? I love them all. It was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and I do actually. I will say so my newsletter used to send those out, and I do have them on my Facebook fan page.
Oh, okay, good.
So
all right.
I still have those.
Okay.
But yeah, I think. One of the recent ones that I liked was you are more than you are being. Because I think we get stuck in sort of like, I am to this, I'm not enough of this. And it's like, and at the end of the day, we're so much more than just a body. And even as I'm, you know, tapping into energy and now the aura, I'm literally seeing how much more we are
than just the given.
So, and that was something that just came to me a few months ago, and it's funny because it came to me, and now I've been watching that tip to myself, you know, like grow and grow.
Yeah, no limitations.
Yeah,
it's
and actually, and what was I just had that was a limitation that something about I'm trying to think of the words that if you believe that you can't do something, it's just a limitation in your thinking.
I love that quote. Whether you believe you can or you can't.
You're right.
You're right. Yeah.
It's
it's all a matter of mind. Yep. Is. So with the Bull to Brilliance now, you've taken the cafe's gone.
Except in my mind.
Okay.
a
fond memory.
Yep.
And you've taken it to the next step. So your ideal client is not someone who's wallowing around. It's someone who says, you know what, I'm tired, I'm out.
Yeah, it's someone that's really ready to make more money, get more clients, and is just realized, wow, everything I've tried up till now just hasn't gotten me where I want to go, and I'm ready. I'm ready to do something different and have this journey where I create something that I want, my ideal business, and I do it in a way that's authentic, and I get out of this place where I feel like I'm working really hard, but my business isn't working as hard back for me.
Ah, okay. So, what do you tell? How do you get people to bust the bull? How do you get them to get a new paradigm, get a new thought process?
So, if I'm working with somebody individually, I actually start them off with a whole. I have a whole process where I, read their energy. We look at sort of what is the biggest bull in their way. And then I show them how this bull is impacting their business, and we end up having really juicy discussions because that bull ends up not just affecting their business, it's affecting their life.
Okay, let's go back to step one. You read their energy. What does that mean?
So that's hard to define because I don't know how or why I do it, but it's just when I'm working with a client.
You're going to wrait the book eventually and tell us all, yes.
It's about really just tapping in. I just get impressions of them and sort of an idea of their natural rhythm and energy state, and it comes in. Sometimes it's pictures, sometimes it's feelings. I don't know how to explain it. It's just in the context of a conversation. I just get a hit on them, and then I discuss it with them, and we kind of flesh it out. And that becomes part of an understanding of, oh yeah. And a lot of the times it's sort of like, oh gosh, I remember when I used to blank, and there's that energy, and oh, I'm not being this person. And I'm not, I'm not boldly exhibiting this person that I am at the core in my business or my life. And that's what ends up happening is we bring that amazing dynamo. I actually have a wonderful client I've just been working with for 6 months that I told her from the beginning, I was like, I'm hanging out over here with, this is where I see you. I'm just waiting for you to catch up. And now it's funny because she started catching up. Her business is booming, and now we actually have a new avatar for her because, she's boldly stepping more into not just who she is, but who she can be, and realizing how much bigger that is.
Interesting. So, okay, I'm going to ask you, and you can tell I know nothing about this, but I'm fascinated.
Yeah.
That's why. So, it would be on a more superficial level, like if I were going to totally uneducatably use, is that a word?
Well, it is, and it has bull in it, too.
Okay. All right, bully. Yes. If I were going to say, okay, I'm going to sort of get an idea of who you are by your body posture and how your direct eye contact and your how you communicate with me, is that, it's all part of that mixture that you're reading?
It's really not, and that's why it's hard to explain. It's very energetic. To that point, I will say that what I find is when I get to this place of really energetic resonance and understanding, posture, sometimes the client sometimes will sit up straighter.
Okay.
And in fact, I was, there's also been times where I've been with someone that's kind of like this, and then after we're done, they're like, and they're looking. They're actually, their neck is higher, their back is higher, and I look at them, like, what happened? Oh my God, you're a different person, and they feel it. And
that's just from one session?
Could be.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I've had VIP days where the person walks in. I mean, it's night and day, and I actually have to sit back and look at. I'm like, what? Who are you?
You should start taking photos as they enter and as they leave. That would be interesting.
You know what? That might actually be a great idea. Thank you. Yeah. So yes, it's very profound. When I also have a group program, and in the group, it's really fun. We basically explore brilliance in a little bit of a different way and sort of get into, well, how are you, if I know their energetic resonance and that comes out on the call, then we'll bring that in. But we also talk about, because the word brilliance actually, it can be interpreted in many different ways, right? There's the energy element.
Absolutely, and defined by different people.
Right.
Sure.
And so there's, what are you brilliant at? What would other people knock you on the head and say, Laurie, I can't believe you don't make a business out of blank, and you sit there and you go, but that's so easy. Why would I do that?
Really? Taking for granted. I noticed that once when I had the director of care business, and I knew someone who couldn't bill because she couldn't write up the case notes in order to bill, and I'm going, that's so crazy. And it's like, no, not everybody can write, and that is such a good point that you made. Not everybody can do what you do.
Exactly.
And don't take it for granted, because there are people out there who are limiting themselves because they don't have what you consider a natural talent.
Exactly. And so when we discuss the core sales and marketing strategies on our group program, I often try to go individually into, what is your natural brilliance, Laurie? And so how can we bring that into this strategy and what you're trying to accomplish? And we talk that out. And it's really powerful. And so, they leave the call with some immediate actionable ideas that they can go and put into work for them.
Now, you're telling me that you can read energy via the phone.
Yes.
Wow.
Phone or in person, yeah.
Okay.
It's really, because energy's energy. Energy's everywhere, right?
Yeah,
it travels, and I honestly, I used to question, what am I doing? How am I doing it? And I don't know. And it kind of doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it's like I'm tapping into the person I'm talking to and really understanding them at a really deep level, because a person can say anything. My biggest frustration is this, and I'm trying to go over here, and then boom, once we get into the energy, that's where the real discussion starts. Because I've had calls where I'm not crying. Sorry, my contact is
the one that's preventing her from seeing the aura. Yes.
So I've had calls where we're we're kind of not getting too far, and then I've called out the energetic state that I'm feeling and seeing. And the person just all of a sudden starts talking. It's like something is released and they're free to talk about what's really happening.
That's amazing, because I do some mentor coaching, and everybody's always looking for the, especially new coaches, the right question. I want the right question. Go forget about the question, coach the energy. Just go with the energy, go with the emotion, because the story, who cares? It's just the emotion that's going to do it.
And I think as a trained coach, I remember that teaching, and that's absolutely relevant, only I'm experiencing it totally differently now, because experience it from the way that it's taught, and it's like, well, how am I coaching energy? What is energy, and and trying to latch on to the part of the call and what's asking the right questions, because instead of asking the right question now, I'm really kind of like let's just disregard. It's like I'm pulling the fog away. I'm like, oh, there you are.
Oh, I love that.
You know, and then we have the talk from here, you know, with the fog moved
Yeah,
away.
all the facades
Yeah.
are broken down and the walls and everything.
Yeah.
You mentioned a VIP day.
Yes.
What is that?
So VIP day is where I spend an entire day with a client. I do half days and full days, and we really get all the work that might take 3 or 6 months to do. We do it in one day. And we do both. We're tapping into the energy. I bring in numerology. It's really fun. And we do the bull, and then we plan out, you know, where they're trying to take their business in that moment.
Wow.
And look at the core strategies they should use over the next period, you know, 3 or 6 months, and how they will best use those strategies. And we go really in depth. We give them an action plan, and then they go get to work.
That's amazing. So if someone is just starting out a business, then they might want to do a VIP day with you.
It's powerful. Oh my God, it's such a powerful, like, whew, like, you know, a start to taking off and really getting a lot of clarification, a lot of clarity, really zoning into, you know, well, what have I been doing that's getting in my way? How am I going to shift this? And then feeling really inspired and excited about, you know, moving it forward. And, you know, and then there's like a couple of support calls after. So it's not like, because I hate when you have, I don't know if you've ever had that, you do something and you're like, oh my God, I'm so excited, I'm so fired.
And you have pages of notes, and it's like,
and then,
oh yes.
And then 3 days later, you're like, where was that note? And I hate leaving people at that place, right? So I give them support after as well.
Wow, that's pretty powerful. So if you do a half day, it's condensed and it goes even faster, or it's in stages?
So it's condensed, and a half day is better for someone that maybe wants to focus on one specific thing, and the numerology and all that probably wouldn't be part of it, because it's just it wouldn't be enough time to go deep into some of those things.
Yeah.
So it's really more about kind of like, where's your business now, and taking a look at sort of like 1 or 2 core strategies that you could just kind of reboot right now. And then just using that to sort of supercharge and recharge the business.
Okay, so I hear you saying it's perfect for people who are just starting a business, and also perfect for people who are rebranding, refurbishing, totally changing the direction of their business.
Sometimes actually I'll work with a longer term client, and actually we get to, I'm with one of my clients now, like we get to this point where things are changing radically, and a whole new, as I put it to my client, it's like you're on top of, you've reached the top of your mountain, and you start out, you're just so excited. And then after that moment of excitement passes, you get really depressed, because you look down and you don't want to climb that mountain again. And so what I said to her is, well, you got to look out and over to the next mountain. And so, you know, the VIP day becomes the perfect thing to be like, well, let's create that next mountain and how we're going to get you over there.
Oh, I love that analogy, or that metaphor, whatever,
I'm full of them.
Full of it, yes, okay. I won't argue with that at all. And I'm not, I'm very metaphor envious, because I would wish I could.
That was a good one.
I know.
That's a good quote, metaphor envious.
I always will go, gosh, I wish I could have thought of that, but I didn't, so I'll accept that. So what do we need to know? If you were going to give one major tip to someone who, how would they know that they're ready for you?
So they would know they're ready when, you know, typically they've tried to, you know, they've been in business for a while, and they're recognizing, there's 2 levels to me, like a client who has been struggling for a while, they've really been working really hard, they are a hard worker, they're really doing what they believe it takes to be successful, and it's just not working, and they're kind of reaching that place where their confidence is starting to dwindle. And they're wondering if they have this dream of this business, it's not working, maybe they should be giving it up, but they really don't want to. And that's a great time to start with me. And another time is, you may have a business that's doing fabulous, really well, and then all of a sudden it just tanks. And you don't know why.
Yeah.
And often the why is because you've reached this plateau that you're not seeing where bull is coming in, because the ironic thing is at each level of our business when we grow, there's a whole new set of bull that comes in.
Isn't that amazing? You can't just shed it off and go, okay, done.
Yeah.
It's like,
And money is one of the most interesting ones. This might be relevant for some of you. you can be afraid of not having enough money, but one of the fears that I see in some of my clients is actually the fear of abundance. What kind of person will I be when I have that money? How will I be judged by my family and friends if I have more money? And that actually is a big piece of bull that can stop success.
That's amazing. I mean, the statistics are there also. It's not only how being afraid of money, but it's like handling it when you get it. I mean, like the lotto winners who just you think, okay, they're set. Not really.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's dealing with change. But I love what you say. It's not that you reach a plateau and it's like, okay, this is bull free from here on out.
Yeah.
Because you're going to create more and more. As the higher you go. I mean, it doesn't leave you. But so you are giving them tools to deal with busting the bull.
So first we talk about the first part of the journey is busting that bull, because I could give you, if you're in your bull, I could tell you an ideal path for you, and you're going to look at me, and you're not going to do it.
No,
and you're
my head's
going to
go, well, she doesn't know that I can't do this. And then,
And so I need to get that bull transformed. So we really look at kind of what is happening. We discuss kind of like, how is this bull showing up? What are you doing? Because oftentimes clients aren't aware of what it is they're doing. That is, okay, I got the bull, but until they see, like, do you see how you keep saying you want to turn right, and with this bull, you keep going left, and you go, oh my God, I knew that, but not consciously. It was subconscious, and when it comes into the conscious state, then you can suddenly say, oh, now the next time I turn left, I can call myself out, and I can turn right.
And there's a lot of self-sabotaging action that goes on. And as you do it to yourself, you go, see, I knew that. And it's like, no, well, you created it. And you've reinforced what you already, the bull that you've been telling yourself. So it must be hard. And I know it's not one session cures all. So as reinforcement, what do you do for that?
Reinforcement.
Okay, so to say, okay, this is a habit and I've been self-sabotaging and I'm going to stop it. But you know what? It's so easy to slip back into that.
So here's what happens. Some of my clients, depending on who you are. Now, so I divide bull into internal and external. So internal bull is the thoughts.
Right.
And external bull are the actions and behaviors. What I found is when a client has internal bull, it takes longer to make that go away. The external bull is literally like, Laurie, just turn
look
to the right.
Look at that. Look over there.
But the internal bull often will take a couple of months. And what happens there is we call it out initially, but then when we jump on a call and we talk about what's been going on, then I'm like, hey, Laurie, remember that bull we talked about? Do you see how that, you just explained to me how you're doing it again. Here's how I might run it differently. Right? And we talk that out, and then you go, oh, gosh, yep.
So it's constant reinforcement, like every habit that we have, and it's also support, which I'm hearing you say, okay, this is, I'm providing this. Believe it or not, we've got like 40 seconds left.
Are you kidding me? We didn't even pick a card yet.
I know. I guess we'll have to pick a card offline and see what happens. But I want to go check out Heather's website, To Brilliance, which is at the bottom of the page there. And I think you're going to find, as she's dropped a million pearls of wisdom, and I could only pick up so many, so I'll have to have her back so we can continue this. But I want to thank you so much for coming on again. And sharing this exciting journey that you're on and explaining to us all the cool and innovative things you're doing. So thank you, Heather Markel.
Thank you, Laurie Lawson. This has been so fun.